Everybody shut the hell up! Dune!
Finally!
Dune! It's here! I did it! I saw that Dune! Dune. And I didn't just see it once, but twice. This movie is so damn jam-packed that I had to watch it twice before sitting down to write a review. Also, it was the last movie I saw during Toronto International Film Festival, so by the time I finally got my long-awaited rest, it slipped away like a fever dream. So, my next course of action was to rewatch it at New York Film Festival. And we're posting this review as of late. Initially, this was going to be the reviews to launch this YouTube channel, but life hits you hard, man. Life hits you hard. With 2 viewings under my belt, it's time to finally review one of the most highly anticipated movies of the year, Dune! Writer-director Denis Villeneuve has proven himself to be exemplary at bringing sci-fi worlds to life in a fully realized and meticulous fashion. And whenever he does so, he puts his personal signature on it in various ways. He explores themes of identity in some form and applies them to the lead character's arc and/or hero's journey. With this iteration of Dune, you're not just getting Frank Herbert's Dune, you're also getting Denis Villeneuve's Dune, whether you like it or not. To absolutely nobody's surprise, the film is an overwhelmingly gorgeous marvel. Villeneuve does a grade A job at crafting Herbert's worlds in such a grandiose manner that will make fans of the source material wet their pants. He is no stranger to toying with scale that makes all of the characters look like ants in the world they inhabit. Through his ambitious scope, you feel the weight and epicness of the adventure in every facet. Whether it's the ocean planet Caladan or the desert planet Arrakis, Villeneuve immerses you with his crafty world building. Due to the film being shot in Middle Eastern countries that the planets were inspired by, the authenticity of the settings is elevated thanks to the natural environments. You have a hot and talented cast who filmed in a real desert going all natural, and you feel the weight of the dangers that lie outside Shahi Hudud, the massive sandworm in their midst. The major action set pieces regarding massive crafts, creatures, and enemies of Atreides range in size and numbers. It keeps you gripped to the edge of your seat as Villeneuve confidently makes the pieces exciting and intense. The visual effects done by effects team at DNNG are mind-blowing in both detail and design, delivering the absolute best VFX and CGI that I've seen this year. Everybody in their respective departments truly excels at making this futuristic world breathe in a realistic way that makes you wish you were there yourself. The production design is full to the brim with detail and style, bearing all of the cultural inspirations of the source, while making each location stand out in tone, mood, and space. The set designs elevate the tension due to the emptiness and lighting of the spaces where some of the most powerful characters reside. Plenty of the interior settings are vacant as a few people fill the scene as a means to display just how intimidating, powerful, or feared they are. The wide shots display the vacancy of interiors and exteriors to show how small they are compared to this massive planet with one natural element. Then you have the costume design, which blends futuristic armored suits with culturally inspired elements to give the wardrobe a specific inventive feel. Even outside the powers the suits possess, they just look so darn cool to wear. The variety of outfits Paul wears throughout the film contributes to the arc where he starts off looking royal AF, but through his hero's journey, he starts adopting the ways of the Furman, even down to the attire, in order to survive. I was completely mesmerized because I haven't felt this way towards the science fiction world in a very long time. Even the architecture of the environments and functionality of the suits and vehicles had me muttering, "Ugh, that's so cool!" like a teenager again. Is this how people felt when James Cameron's Avatar came out in 2009? I think I finally get y'all now! Even if you don't know jack shit about Dune, like me, the film does a great job of getting the general public on board without alienating anybody. What really makes Dune astounding is how Denis Villeneuve stays completely true to his style and tone throughout the film. In a time where so many blockbusters suffer from major Marvelification, Dune plays as a straightforward space opera with brains. The film is a slow burner that balances both being story-driven and character-driven, focusing entirely on exploring this grand-scale story of betrayal while providing a personalized character arc around identity. In the same vein as the recent Planet of the Apes trilogy, this is an anti-blockbuster, for it defies all norms and requires you to turn your brain on to enjoy this journey. The screenplay penned by Jon Spaihts, Denis Villeneuve, and Eric Roth is contemplative without being overly serious and at times has natural levity. There are great dynamics between the characters who are all significantly charming in their own right, that you feel the weight of their relationships without them having to reminisce of the past or show a flashback. With Paul's arc, the writers cleverly develop and flesh out a theme of identity that's multi-layered. On my second viewing of the film, I found myself picking up more symbolic details that made this hero's journey subversive and deep to an extent that gender never plays a role. It's Paul's birthright to be a duke like his father, but he contains the powers of his mother and the Bene Gesserit, which only applies to women, so it's up to him to search for his destiny. No wonder they hired Timothée. Speaking of, Timothée Chalamet delivers a spectacular performance that helps bring this iconic character to life in spades. He confidently carries the film with charm, power, and raw emotion, like we've seen him do time and time again. The rest of the ensemble are fantastic in their designated roles. It's nice to see that Dave Bautista has become Villeneuve's muse, Oscar Isaac, who shifts his sci-fi franchise gears with a role that makes him the bona fide badass that he is. Rebecca Ferguson is also great as Paul's hot witchy mom. Zendaya is doing the most with little screen time she got. But Jason Momoa oftentimes steals the show as Duncan with his charisma, charm, and high energy. Whenever he appears on screen and shouts, "My boy!" to Paul, you clench your chest with joy. Because Dune is such a dense book, you have to endure bountiful scenes of exposition for a good chunk of the first hour. It's not unbearable, for it still relays back to the characters and sets up threads that will have their payoff later on. That being said, the film unloads so much exposition on the politics between houses and the importance of Arrakis' spice that you feel inclined to write notes just in case they quiz you later. The exposition, here we go, the exposition, take some notes. Some of the shot compositions in the action sequences are quite questionable. The set pieces regarding large-scale chaos are great, but it's the action itself where the film falls short. The action is shown at really weird angles, especially during sequences of hand-to-hand combat. Listen, the film features amazing costume design that mixes multiple cultures and influences, but ooh, that cultural appropriation is strong, especially when there are no MENA actors whatsoever. The ensemble is pretty diverse, but seriously, when you got Rebecca Ferguson wearing an Indian-inspired nose chain, I'm like, please get that shit off of her. I'm going to laugh. Hollywood, this is how you do a spectacle blockbuster with prestige and richness while letting the visionary filmmaker have full creative control. At the end of the day, this is Villeneuve's baby that features all of his signature attributes in thematic storytelling and style. This shit was so nice, my ass had to watch it twice before I even sat down to write a review. I saw it once in IMAX during TIFF and once at New York Film Festival. This film simply has to be seen in IMAX. Not to be that guy, because I'm all for accessibility, especially of this hellscape of a year, but I understand why Villeneuve was initially pissed at the HBO Max deal. This shit was made to be seen on the biggest screen imaginable. I saw this in a Cinesphere, which is a hell of a big screen, and man, I felt like I was in another realm while watching it. The sound design is immaculate. The scenes regarding Paul's visions and the present shift in aspect ratio to elevate the immersive presentation of the story. And seeing these worlds come to life with modern feats of filmmaking is eye-popping. After 2 viewings, it's safe to say Dune Part 1 is a major sci-fi epic space opera unlike anything I've seen in eons. It's ambitious yet overwhelming in exposition, but when the film hooks you, you're entranced for the ride and it leaves you wanting more. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm a pray to my one true god, the Sandworm, in hopes that Warner Brothers greenlights Dune Part 2. They better. If you're watching this video post or prior to the film's release, let me know what you think. Do you agree or disagree with my takes? Leave a comment in the comment section below. And hey, while you're here, be sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Or head on over to RendyReviews.com where you can find the written review of this film along with hundreds of more reviews. And hey, subscribe to our Patreon, where you can get early access to written reviews, video reviews, and a bunch of other exclusive content that you don't want to miss. Thanks for watching, I'm Rendy Jones, and I'll see y'all next time.